Welcome to Gore's Woodworking. This is your host, Justin. Right here I'm getting started on milling up my lumber. Got some pine right here that I use for clamping braces. They won't be in the cutting board. You got some rough sawn walnut here. And you'll have some oak and some cedar. The boards will all be ripped down to 1.5 inches. Here you've got the oak. I think there's like 7 or 8 pieces of the oak in it. Right here I'm just milling everything down to get the rough off of, and they're going to be about 1 inch thick. This is all the oak here going through at one time. Then you got the walnut. Gotta love walnut. Getting everything the same thickness. Right here I'm just playing around with some videoing. Gotta love that walnut color though. And here was the fun part for me, since this was my first cutting board. I do have the pine in it right now because I was going to use pine, but then I decided not to because it's not a good lumber for cutting boards. Gotta learn somehow, right? And you didn't have to watch the glue up process because everybody's seen the glue up, right? The planer is not big enough to do the cutting board all at the same time. I have it in 2 different sections where I can run it through the planer and make everything exactly the same. And then you have to glue it back together one more time. And right here I'm just cutting everything true on the ends. They've got a little shadow line on my blade. I did not notice that until I watched this video. And then you got the other piece. I'm going to trim it up right here. I've got to get a bigger miter saw. It's not hardly big enough. I'm going to raise it up just a little bit. But it worked. Gotta love sanding. And the whole thing was sanded with 100, 150, a 220, and 320. You use water in between each step to raise the wood grain up. And right here, I'm cutting the whole board into 2-inch strips. And it broke because I don't have patience. I didn't let my glue set up all the way. You know, when you get in a hurry, stuff breaks. I don't really know why I decided to cut it like this. I just wanted to try something different with a table saw because usually you'd have the 2-inch strip in between the blade and the fence, but I wanted to try something different. And the last piece. And then it's time for glue up number 3. And right here I'm just fixing the one that I broke on the table saw because I didn't have patience. Turn and flip. Turn and flip on the ones that I'm turning. Just to change the pattern up on it. And here is where I use the pine strips that I cut. Always got to use a hammer to line it up, right? You can't just use your hands. And right here I am taking just a saw blade off of each side with about 1/8 of an inch. And you can see right here what hardly lined up just perfect in the clamps. And I'm going to do the other side just the same. Oh, you got a round over bit, and I am going to do all 3 edges. I am going to stand it up and I'm going to have a second pass on it. You'll see that here in just a second. I'm going to do the top and go around over on the bottom too, just to make it easier about picking up off the counter. Because where you have that sharp edge on the top, I didn't want that. So I took a second pass. Right here I'm going to stand it up, and I actually learned this by accident. But you have a smooth round over and no sharp edges anywhere on it. It looks good when it's all done. You got to use some Howard's. I need some Howard's cutting board oil. It brings out them colors. The cedar and the walnut and the oak. Gotta love the colors. Well, that was my first cutting board. If you like and comment, you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time.